To start making our underwater scene with a turtle, first we have to make a turtle shell. So right in the middle of my screen, I'm going to make an oval. So I'm going to make sure it goes all the way around. And the most important part of this oval is that we don't leave it open. If we leave this open, then it's going to be a mistake later that we can't fix. So please make sure that when you make your oval, the sides touch so there are no openings anywhere. Then we're going to add a head. So right on this end, I'm going to put a little head that sticks out. So I'm going to make sure to touch the turtle shell, go all the way around, and come back and touch the turtle shell on this side. And again, I'm going to stop and make sure that it's touching everywhere and there are no openings. Then I'm going to do the same thing with his four legs. So I'm going to touch the turtle shell and make four legs that stick out all the way. Ready? Okay, and once I make all four legs, I want to check each one and make sure that there are no openings anywhere. And oh, there's an opening. I can't leave that way, so I'm going to connect it. Now when I check everything, it looks really good. So at this point, we get to start to color. So I'm going to switch from a paintbrush and I'm going to click down to the paint bucket. This little paint bucket is going to splash in the different areas and color the whole section. So I'm going to switch my color to green. And I always have to pay attention to this little rectangle. If it's black, it means that when I go to fill it in, it's going to be black. So I have to change it. I'm going to go undo that. And I'm going to move this circle around. And wherever that circle is, it shows me the color that I'll paint with. So if I move that down here, it gets really dark. If I move it up, it gets really light. And I'm going to pick a color green that I like for the head and the legs. I really like that color. So I'm going to fill in and click inside each section like that. Then I'm going to choose a different color green for the shell. So I'm going to move this somewhere else. That's a pretty neat color. And fill it in there. And then my sea turtle, since we said he was going to be underwater, he needs some water around him. So I'm going to change my color to blue and try to see if I can find a nice pretty color blue that shows up. Once I do, I can click in the water and the whole thing turns blue. And at this point, you can start to decorate it however you want. Now be careful, because if you're using your paint bucket, all the paint bucket does is splash paint. You can't draw with a paint bucket. So I have to go back to my paintbrush, and then I can use my paintbrush to add some details. Like maybe I have some fish in the background, like this. And maybe my turtle has, a nice eye. So let's change the color to white. Make it a little bigger. And also give him a little eyeball inside there. Maybe he's got purple eyes. I kind of like that. And he can have an eye here. And just to make him even cuter, I might give him a little reflection in that eye. So I'll move this up here. Make this smaller. Ooh, that looks really cute. And then I can add some other details too, like maybe there's some seaweed along the sea floor, like this. Maybe I have a nice little jellyfish floating in the corner. Let's see here. Like this, maybe make it a little bit smaller to make his little tentacles coming out. And I could even give him a few bubbles coming out of his mouth. So let's see, I'll adjust the size to make it a little bit bigger. Bubble, 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 bubble. And the reason why these ones look this way is because I'm using this cotton ball-like tool. So whenever I use that, that's what it's going to look like. If I want harder lines, then I click on this one, and you see the bubbles change. But I actually like the cotton balls, so I'm going to undo that. And then you can just decorate this however you want. And if you create things like this fish, you can use your fill tool to fill it in. So maybe my fish is going to be filled in with some orange. It's sort of up to you. And decorate your underwater picture however you want. Just remember, whenever you're done, save your picture. Up here in the top right corner, there is this blue arrow with a line. Make sure that you click it in order to save your work.